Imagine getting a death sentence just for eating a snack. That is exactly what happened to a wealthy merchant traveling through the desert heat. Seeking shade under a walnut tree, he sat down to eat some dates, casually tossing the pits over his shoulder. Suddenly, the ground shook, and a massive, terrifying Jinni materialized from the dust, swinging a razor-sharp sword. The monster roared that the merchant must die, because one of those carelessly thrown date pits had struck his invisible son in the eye, killing him instantly. The merchant wept and begged for mercy, explaining it was a total accident, but the Jinni was ruthless. Desperate, the merchant made a final, wild plea. Allow him just 1 year to return home, say goodbye to his family, distribute his wealth, and he swore on his soul he would return to this exact spot to face execution. Amazingly, the Jinni accepted the vow and vanished. For a year, the merchant lived in agony, and when the exact day arrived, he walked back into the desert alone and sat under the tree, weeping as he waited for his executioner. Suddenly, 3 mysterious old men, leading strange animals, walked out of the dunes, asking why he was crying in the middle of nowhere. Just as the merchant finished explaining his bizarre doom, the air turned ice cold, the desert sand began to swirl violently, and the monstrous Jinni exploded from the earth with his blade raised high, ready to take the merchant's head. The merchant closed his eyes, preparing for the fatal blow, but the 3 mysterious travelers refused to run away. Instead, the first old man stepped directly between the roaring monster and the trembling merchant, proposing a high-stakes gamble. He told the Jinni that if he related his own life story, and if the Jinni found it more shocking and unbelievable than the merchant's situation, the Jinni must grant him 1/3 of the merchant's life. Intrigued by the wager, the Jinni lowered his sword and agreed. The first old man revealed how his jealous wife used dark sorcery to transform his mistress into a cow and his young son into a calf, forcing him to unknowingly almost slaughter his own child. The Jinni was so stunned by the twisted tale of black magic that he kept his word and spared 1/3 of the man's life. Seizing the moment, the second old man stepped forward, offering his own tale about his envious brothers who threw him and his fairy bride into the ocean, resulting in his bride turning the brothers into the very black hounds he now led on a leash. The Jinni, thoroughly entertained by the sheer madness of the stories, granted the second third. Finally, the third old man delivered a mind-bending tale of transformation and betrayal involving a magical mule. Completely captivated and satisfied by the incredible storytelling, the furious Jinni completely forgot his rage, forgave the merchant's debt, and dissolved back into the desert wind, leaving the merchant alive and free.